I've said this for the longest time. I don't think dinosaurs existed. I even got in an argument with someone and it got kind of like heated with my friend. And she was trying to pull evidence and telling me about all these fossils that have been found and bones and all of these things to really prove her fact that dinosaurs existed. But I still don't believe it. I've never believed dinosaurs existed. I still don't believe it. All the fiction and all the characters in movies have always thought they're fictions and just created by somebody's imagination. I don't believe they ever existed. And this guy really explains this in the very best way, because sometimes you want to say something but you don't have the words for it. And when I saw this video, I thought, there we go. Somebody just helped me explain it the way I would like to, or the way I would like it to be explained. So I thought I should bring this video to you. And if you still believe after this video that dinosaurs existed, tell us why and share your facts or your references. But yeah, let's get to the video.
Dinosaurs existed. I think the Matrix made them up completely. So the Matrix is telling us that these creatures lived from 240 to 66 million years ago. All right, and they got wiped out because an asteroid hit the Earth and created an ice age. And you guys understand that this is fake information, right? This is evolutionary propaganda. And also, they created these creatures in order to hide the fact that giants existed, because they found giant, bones in these burial mounds. And the Smithsonian was like, you know what, we need to explain away why these giant humanoid bones are here. So let's just say these reptile creatures lived millions of years ago. And that'll solve it, because they believe everything we say. They'll take that. Okay. LIES. Okay, you guys know what that spells, right? Mm-hmm. Cap. Look at this. The T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex, completely disproportionate. How is he holding his upper body? Hold on, let me show you. Look where his legs are, his tail back there, and then look at all that weight up there. So, the tail is gonna balance this way. If he falls, how does he get up? With those little arms, he just pivots off of his head. It just seems like he's not built right. He's bad built. And I don't think these creatures are real. I don't think God made any of these things, and these are all casts. They just pour some type of resin or whatever in a cast to create these bones. I don't think any of this stuff is real. And then the fossil fuels from these dinosaurs, right? Fossil fuels originate from the remains of ancient plants and animals that were buried under layers of rock and sediment over millions of years. So it's rare. You better, salvage it, because it takes a long time to get new fossil fuels, right? That's fake information. Fossil fuels allegedly are not renewable. I think there's an unlimited supply of these fuels, but they want to create a scarcity mindset and have control over the supply and jack up the prices. So they'll say it takes a long time to create new fossil fuels, but in reality, it's unlimited. But they don't want you to know that.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like, even besides the fossil fuels, I feel like energy in general is unlimited. Like, energy you need for anything is unlimited, but they just have to put a price to it, and because of that, they have to give an explanation to it to bring some value. But fossil fuel, any kind of energy, solar, whatever, I just feel like one way or the other we can get unlimited energy. Anyways, I digress. Let's keep going.
Say, we know how old these bones are because of carbon dating. No, carbon dating is only reliable up to 50,000 years. Okay, because of carbon-14's half-life. So even if these bones were real, you wouldn't even be able to tell how old they actually are, because carbon dating is unreliable. I don't think any of this. I think these are all fake. These are all made-up creatures, mythical. Mm-hmm. But one type of creature that's not mythical are dragons. It seems like dragons actually existed. Now, I'm not into the zodiac stuff because I think it's demonic, but the Chinese zodiac signs, they have all these real creatures, real animals, except, they have the one fake dragon, the one mythical creature. Why would they have all these real creatures and then just throw in some make-believe crap right here? Does that make any sense whatsoever? Why would they do that? I think it's because dragons were actually real. Hold on, let me show you something else. 1946 dictionary. Dragon. Now rare. A huge serpent. A fabulous animal. Generally a monstrous winged scaly serpent.
Yeah, I feel like I may have, yeah, there are religious books that have made reference. I think the Bible also. I don't want to like say, I'm not really sure, but I feel like the Bible or another religious book has made reference to the dragon. So I don't know. You might not be Christian. Some of you might not be religious, but I'm really really with him on this one too.
Now rare, which means at one point they weren't rare. Which means at one point they were prevalent. And there's old artwork of dudes slaying dragons. All those books and TV shows and movies of dragons being in there. But they're mythical. However, the dinosaurs are absolutely real. All that propaganda, those movies, the Jurassic Park and all that stuff, it's all programming and propaganda. But then they will say dragons are mythical. Mythical. Pretty much the opposite. Whatever the Matrix says, the opposite is the case. The opposite is true. Now, for the Christians that think that Noah had two of each of these kinds, all the different dinosaurs on the ark, can you please explain why you think that? And if that was logistically possible? No, I don't think so. Those Brontosaurus.
For the Christians, the argument they make is usually that Noah had the baby on the ship, on the boat, or the ark, pardon me, got the babies or the eggs, not necessarily the big ones, because it's logistically impossible to get the big ones in it.
Joints, Triceratops and T-Rex made on there too? I think we should question what the mainstream is telling us about these creatures that I think are absolutely fake and made up. I don't think that.
Anyways, that's the video. The whole point of the video is just to emphasize that I don't believe dinosaurs are real. I don't believe they ever existed. The bones, I don't know how they get the bones, the carbon dating and the age, whatever. I don't believe in any of those things. However, some people have tried to prove the factuality. Is that a word? Some people have tried to prove with facts that dinosaurs actually existed, and they've tried to recreate them from lizards. They said they're a family of lizards and reptiles, whatever. All this, I still don't believe it either way. I still really don't believe it. Because I don't know, it's not really a giraffe, it's not really a reptile, it's some kind of like a giraffe reptile. Like, no, I couldn't. Like, I don't even need facts to be certain things you just have to know. Like, you don't need facts to be convinced by it. I don't know. Some people argue with me or disagree when I say things like that, but I don't need somebody to try to read a whole thesis to explain to me that dinosaurs existed. They didn't exist. I don't need proof for that. Like, I don't need evidence for that. They just don't exist. Now, how about dragons on the other hand? Dragons, because of the references and just the possibility of being a snake, I don't know. I couldn't really explain why I believe dragons existed. I couldn't explain, but I just believe they existed. That's just my thought. Like, if you agree or disagree with me, you know, it's okay. But feel free to talk to me about your points, share your views in the comment section. Let us know what you think. It's the end of this one. Smash the like button, subscribe. And by the way, the owner of the channel, it's called Igobi William on TikTok. If you want to go check him out, he didn't ask to do that. But if you're using the content, you might as well shout him out and, you know, get him some views. So if you're looking for somebody who speaks about this content, go check it out. Igoby William _ that's the name. The comment section, okay, somebody said here, right, I just saw this, says the Bible don't mention dinosaurs, only dragons, which is correct, as I mentioned, but I wasn't sure if it was the Bible, but I knew a religious book spoke about dragons. It's crazy how dinosaur bones are only found in the USA. You know, a lot of things are only found in the USA. Like all these aliens and UFOs are only found in the USA. I've never heard African nation and any African nation speak about seeing UFOs. Never ever heard that. Now, people who say we don't have the technology. Some African nations do. You know, countries like South Africa, Egypt, they're pretty advanced with their technology. Even Nigeria now is becoming very advanced with their military technology. So they should be able to track something or see something like a UFO. But you never see them. It's always like, we found a UFO in Washington or New Orleans or something. Why? The closest has been Mexico. But for me, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. All these things are only found in the US. Why not in any other places? Yeah, if dinosaurs, they could easily find dinosaurs in like Egypt next to the pyramid. Anyways, somebody says the Big Bang Theory, we didn't evolve from damn monkeys. We were created in the image of God. Okay, that's just been religious, I understand, and I believe have views as well. One day people will say this about giraffes. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Like giraffes are easily explainable, especially things like camel. And we can't say this about giraffe and camels. Those are things we can explain. But dinosaurs, no. Is there any one person that has documented seeing a dinosaur? I don't believe so. But giraffes, there are lots of documents that will show that we've seen giraffes. Like I don't think people would ever say that about giraffe. Yeah, they can find dinosaur bones, but can't find missing people. Okay. It's also okay. The people are going extreme in the comment section now, so I don't want to keep reading. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.